Gonna be talking about something really huge, especially for music artists and for people that want to drop music. How you doing today, John?
What's good, man? How you doing?
Yes, sir. Another episode. If you don't know, you better know. We've been dropping a whole bunch of podcasts and information about how to release music, how to make music, and how to make money through your music. My name is ALEXSOY. I'm a musician. I'm a songwriter, producer, engineer. 10 years experience. I've got John Funnel by my side.
What's good, man? I'm John. How y'all doing today?
A little bit about your background, brother.
Yeah, from Houston here. I've been doing music for about 30 years, and yeah, I'm here
Yeah.
working with Alex, and yeah, we're doing our thing, man.
Yeah, and so now today what we're gonna be talking about is gonna be talking about like a rollout strategy, like how people can drop. Really, in reality, this is our rollout strategy so far. What I've been able to come up with. Obviously, is tweaking to do on it, but today, like you guys are just gonna enjoy our conversation between John and I on how we're planning to release Love in Spanish too. Hopefully, you guys can pick up a few gems from this.
Yep.
And so what I was thinking, bro, is for this rollout strategy for Love in Spanish 2, um, Love in Spanish 2 drops January 18th, right? So it's
Yep.
about 6 months from now or so.
Yep.
So I was thinking like from right now to 3 months, we can plan everything, right? We have 6 months, so we plan everything from right now to the into the next 3 months. What does that mean? Planning like literally this, having the rollout strategy, having the content ready,
Yep.
having the songs ready. Do you think that 6 months is good enough for like album rollout?
Oh yeah. Of course, it give you time to like, really, um, it'll pace you. You can pace yourself,
Right,
in
right, right.
6 months, like.
Not move too
Yeah,
fast.
man. Like in 30 days a lot can happen, and
A
you
lot.
times that by three, like,
That's quite something. Like to be honest, yeah, 30 days is a lot of time. But yeah, bro, like that's what I was thinking. 6 months in total, 3 months to plan it out. First things first, right? What I'm talking about the first 3 months of planning it out, I'm talking about creating the content for it,
mm,
making sure that everything is good to go, making sure that pretty much the next 3 months, like after
mhm.
prior to the album, um, they're literally automated. You know me and automations, bro. I love
You running.
everything just has to be automated. Everything has to be like planned. So what I was thinking is, there's a few of these things that we've already kind of already done. For example, um, the album title, right, which is
Yep.
extremely important, and release date.
Hmm.
Those two things we have already kind of
We
put.
already put down.
We
We
already put
already
down,
did.
right?
Checked it off.
Check that off. So Love in Spanish Volume 2, release date January 18th. So boom, we got that. And on top of it, we're already giving social media a little bit of information about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're actually using videos, right? Videos to hint the theme of the album, and that's exactly what we did
Yep.
um with our rehearsal. So we're moving like yeah, and this wasn't even planned like how we did that, y'all. Like we're just that's what we thought we should do. Actually, it was John's idea to get the band together. One day I was like, "Yo, John, like, I think we're ready. Like, I'm ready to rehearse." He had already been doing music in the city for quite some time already, and I'm like, "Okay, I think it's time for me to like
Yeah.
get out with musicians as well and put things together." And so, we did the rehearsal. If you haven't checked out the rehearsal, I'm gonna put it right here. Go ahead and check that out.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna be cool. Y'all gonna like it.
yeah, it's a dope one. You enjoyed it? You enjoyed it? We
I,
just watched it yesterday.
man, I'm enjoying the whole process, man.
Me too, bro.
Like it's a real humbling thing. And this Love in Spanish project, Alex, is like you on a whole nother level.
Yeah, brother.
Like,
Yeah, bro.
yeah, so I'm happy to be working with you, and like this is how you pretty much have to like create your rollout, and like you have to be able to create it and have a plan
Yeah,
to, to make this roll out,
absolutely.
like
Because we're
when you was like,
independent.
yeah, when you was like, yeah, um, I even felt like it was time. I've been out here for about 8 months now.
Hmm.
It's 8 months now, but when we got to the 6 month, we was like, hey, all right, now we can move on
Yeah,
this,
exactly.
and you know,
So
and
6 months is always a
six
good.
months is always a good thing, especially when you pace yourself, and you pretty much kind of like line up your uh line up
Like your
yourself,
music
line up yourself,
personality.
yeah. And but it's definitely not easy within those 6 months. It's not nothing that you can, unless you have like the financial backing. You have to create that financial backing. You have
Mm-hmm.
to like create it through
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing in
Yeah.
yourself. And
Yeah.
you know so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're 100% right. Well, what do you recommend for I'm a songwriter, producer, and audio engineer, so
Mhm.
I mean, I can't sit here and say that I always had the skill to make money in the music industry. Even at the beginning, if it wasn't because of a job, like I would have starved because I don't have, like, for example, you're a drummer, right? Professional drummer, so you can actually go out there and through your music earn income easier than somebody that's just a producer. Because so what do you tell, like, artists right now that are they want to drop music, they don't have the income for it, and like, what's a good advice for those people? Because I know, like, a lot of people, they want to do music full time, and they get stuck like in a loop, right? Because, like, the money that you're creating is not enough to actually propel your career to the next level.
Hmm.
Do you think it's actually easier to just go that route, in the sense of you're doing what you love and you might not be making, or is it, or what do you recommend for somebody to make money? Or how can they, like, as a musician that has a skill, not a producer or audio engineer, like, if you're an audio engineer, bro, go get a job, bro, because like, ain't no way.
Even a musician, like you and getting a job is like not really bad.
Yeah.
It's just like what you doing, like what we're doing with our rollout strategy.
Yeah.
Like you have to do this kind of preparation,
Absolutely.
for like if you want to actually really make money in
Yeah.
the music
You want
industry.
magnitude.
If you want to take advantage of that, or like you said, like expand,
Yeah.
like um yeah, like you have to use this kind of like strategy, rollout strategy. Give yourself a 6 month period. Give yourself a deadline.
Hmm.
Give yourself like look for a gimmick, or you know, like basically like how we're doing like with Alex Soy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even though like I've been in the music industry for over 30 years, right? And I used to just be like caught up into like gigs, right? So like musicians actually do a lot of gigs, and gigs are like things that you get contracted for to come play, um to come play on like places where you gigging, you know what I mean? So uh I got lost for a second.
in
But
the musician word, I feel like, for example, the budgeting that they give musicians when they're performing,
yeah,
bro, it's not enough.
it's not enough. Like, no, it's not enough. And like you have to be able to you have to be able to monetize that. Like you have to be able to, because you'll get burnt out doing
Yeah,
those. You'll
yeah,
get burnt out
yeah.
doing that.
What do you think is a good strategy for people to not get burnt out whenever, if you're a musician, and it's up, bro? I see you setting up your drumming stuff, and I'm like, bro, like, it's work.
It's work. It's
It's
a
I'm
10 hour
talking
shift.
it's work. I think that I have to set up all this, and I'm like, "Ah, shit, bro, like, y'all setting up a drum, like a whole drum set, bro. Y'all never carry that shit.
You got people out there coming up with ways to make it easier
Oh, really?
for the drummer to like set up,
Mm. Okay.
It's crazy.
I was thinking of like ideas like that, like, for example, for the show that we're gonna have, that, hey, we got a meeting on Wednesday, y'all, that we're gonna have a show. Like, we're not gonna say it on this one just yet, but no, we got something extremely huge on the way. But yeah, man, they do need to come up with something cooler, like, for drummers to set up their shit.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, damn, bro, it'd be heavy. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, yo, like, my whole point is that it is hard for musicians to make money. That's what this album, I'm sorry, this podcast in my channel is about how to monetize your career. So if you guys ever see me just kind of go talk about monetization, like those are the times that you need to start taking notes.
And I would say, man, we actually are talking like we're actually seeing ourselves through like doing this, you
Mm-hmm.
know. We're actually seeing ourselves do this and it's coming
Fruition.
to fruition.
Yeah, it
You know
is,
what I'm
bro.
saying?
And that's the reason why I like to document the journey because I was just last night watching a couple videos of my just like at the beginning of my YouTube, bro, and
Mhm.
bro, damn near cried because I'm like, it's been such a long time.
Yeah.
So cool. So so that so 3 months prior, go ahead and get that album title. Go ahead and get the theme of your album, right? No, I want you to look at this interview that I'm gonna put right here that I did with Jeremiah. Remember when we went to Jeremiah and we did that podcast? In that podcast, I was actually explaining that was Love in Spanish one. I was explaining, I was like, no, the album, I was preparing to look like Love in Spanish, to smell like Love in Spanish, to talk like Love in Spanish. Like when I initially was like on some Love in Spanish like series, it wasn't just like, oh, that's a cool name. No, no, no. I worked on the freaking theme. Like I'm
Yeah, I
like,
remember that.
I'm
I
working
worked
out
that shit
every
up.
day. You feel me? Working out every day, making sure like that I just represented the Love in Spanish album in a way that I feel extremely proud of. And that's what I'm talking about. Create that theme, create your colors, create the aspect and how you want people to portray your album and yourself and your brand. And trust me, you're gonna feel a lot more confident promoting the album because you know exactly what you're promoting.
Yeah.
So the second thing is you can create an exclusive teaser campaign. Okay, I think this is extremely crucial, right? To
Mhm.
create some type of teaser that for me is right now it's all about backend. For me, it's actually about raw content right now.
Mhm.
I've already tried to do like this in the movie. Right now, y'all, like I want to show people exactly who I am, what I bring to the table, and that's my teaser. Showing them the creation, the rehearsals, the this and that. What do you think is a good teaser campaign other than raw material? How you're doing as a musician, right? Who you've been on tour, you've seen major artists promote their music, their marketing. What do you think is a nice exclusive teaser campaign? Something that's really gonna impact. It's not just like, oh, let me just release this video. Something that's deep and that can connect. What is that?
I just think you have to have a plan and make sure you have like stock footage.
Okay.
Make sure you have stock footage. Make sure you have um your flyers. Make sure you have what you have what you have done in the
Okay.
past, and create uh, Instagrammers call it reels,
Okay.
but you are basically creating your own market pitch.
Yeah. Remember what we were talking about the other day as well, where it was like people buy into the story, not the person.
Hmm.
I think that was a great little like quote that if you really start analyzing it, it's very true.
Yeah,
And right here, like for example, the way we did this with ChatGPT, y'all, but like here it says
creating a story too,
creating a
like
story.
yeah.
And it says right here, have high quality production. And although that's a hundred, that's important.
Mhm.
You can also create raw content that tells a story. As long as you're
Right.
telling a story, I feel like you'll be able to sell that album,
That's true.
in good places, because if we just sit here and say, man, we got the best album because we just got the best album and this is the best album. But if we say, nah, we've been working on this project or in this sound 10 years ago and we've been developing, doesn't that even already sound better off the bat?
Yeah.
Like telling a
I mean,
story.
that's what's really
That's
happening.
what's really happening. You just
Yeah.
tell the story.
And that's the thing, like I was gonna say, uh you talk about musicians making money
Mhm.
and like that's the thing. Sometimes you can be so caught into like trying to get the money,
Yeah.
and sometimes you kind of miss the story, and like the story is very important. So that's what you when you're writing your things down and coming up with rollout strategies, like don't nothing just really just happen overnight
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly.
So like
You gotta go through the journey to be able to talk
yeah,
about the
yeah,
journey.
yeah. So like yeah, we sitting here and we are doing a podcast and you know they y'all can see us, but what you're actually seeing Alex and me do is we're creating our story and we're
Absolutely.
putting our story down. And this is a rollout strategy. This is what this rollout strategy is pretty much saying,
Yeah.
anyways, you know.
Exactly.
So yeah, we this is
It's funny
we
that it
definitely
says,
have to create a story.
yeah, it's funny that it says it like that because I
Yeah,
mean we've been creating a story for a long time, and I mean we never necessarily sat down and talked about the story, but the story has been
it's
being
happening.
created. It's happening,
Like,
So make sure you go through the journey. Make sure you create that story and make sure you document it. Like John
mm,
said, John's high on being documented this story because once you make it to a position where people want to know your story, then you have the back of the actual back end
yeah.
of it.
And the reason why I document a lot of things now is because I've been there
Mm-hmm.
where I didn't document things
Mm.
and some of that stuff is gone in the wind or I was taken advantage of, you know?
Damn.
So yeah, in the music industry you have to, you know, the gigs are cool. The gigs gonna pay you the money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the gigs gonna pay you that easy, fast money. But if you have a product and you have your own music and you want to be a artist, you have to be able to develop this strategy
Absolutely.
and make it a story. Music is not a, you know, I'm not saying that something can't happen the next day, you get a call and like, oh, you just got this deal. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying that's possible. It can happen in the
Absolutely.
music industry, but 9 times out of 10, like the percentage is like hitting a lottery, bro.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Honestly.
So yeah, you this rollout strategy is pretty dope. And I would tell y'all to like, you
To
know,
really look
to
into it.
really dig
Mm-hmm.
into it.
Well,
Because you're not only seeing these notes of, you know, well we're pretty much giving the game. You
like
know
this
what I
is the
mean?
game because this is what
We're
we're doing.
giving the game because this is what we're doing, you
Exactly.
know?
Don't think that we're just telling you guys, oh, this you should do this now. I'm actually like letting you guys know this is what I'm about to do. Hey, look, listen. When you see us 2, 3 years from now, Quebec show. When you see us touring USA, go back to this video and check out the notes. This is the reason why the next year is gonna look badass because we're strategizing.
Yeah.
I want to take a quick break, literally to just send you to ALEXSOYmusic.com right now. If you've been wanting to record yourself, you need to go to
Y'all
ALEXSOYmusic.com.
go tap in.
Tap in,
Tap
make sure,
in.
look, all this shit that you, excuse me, all the stuff that you have in ALEXSOYmusic.com, a template, okay? You have courses that are gonna help you out, develop yourself as a musician, okay? Blogs and artists and blogs about interviews. If you want to get interviewed, holla at me. I got all the stuff, all the wave equipment that you need. I got the polo equipment that you need, okay? And I have a
Right.
page on my website where you can actually see everything that you're going to need to create a studio at home, okay? If you for any reason don't have the funding to do that, I got a link for you right here where you can apply for Capital One and they'll literally approve you if you don't have extremely bad credit, even if you just have low credit. Capital One will accept you, and then you can start your music career. Just a quick break. I want to tap in with you guys on that. ALEXSOymusic.com. Go there right now.
Yeah, go tap in, man.
You feel me? Boom. Right back to the 2 months
For
before
release.
the release. Okay, so 2 months before the release, it's getting good. You know, let's go 2 months before the release. It's gonna get real good. So they say 2 months prior, release that first single. Release that first single 2 months prior. Okay, we have actually we're gonna start releasing singles for the album right
Yeah,
now.
we got one coming out this month.
August 9th.
Mhm.
August 9th, coming up very shortly. Sunset dropped up. Y'all go ahead and tap in on August 9th. You know, we're going to have a nice a promotion for it. I'm going to make a whole bunch of videos. But release that first song 2 months prior to your album releasing.
Mhm.
The key to not just music dropping or whatever, the key to a lot of things is momentum. Okay, momentum is an insane like word. It's something really cool because when you have momentum, you're pretty much unstoppable. I think, bro. Like because the momentum makes you, not only does it give you like confidence, it really truly does help you keep on that path because you're already going. It's hard to slow down when you're already going. Trust me. Um, so 2 months prior, go ahead and drop that first single. And of course, if you're gonna drop that first single like 2 months prior, make sure you make a video for it. If you have quite a few months, kind of like how we're doing, we're obviously gonna make the videos as the time go by. But if it's 2 months prior, premiere that video on YouTube. And we're just talking about Premiere. That's pretty good. Premiere is actually a great way to release music on YouTube
Yep.
because it allows people to see that you got something coming without having access to it right
Right.
away. Promote it absolutely heavily on social media.
Mm-hmm.
John, you've honestly, I from the inside looking out, I just feel like I'm just promoting this and that. But the past few months, you kind of have enlightened me to the fact that I've been I've been really promoting it heavily on social media. So seeing from the outside looking in, what are some tips that you can give some people of what I do that could help them?
Um.
Yo, okay, one second.
Some tips on how they can say that again. Some tips on.
So you've been seeing me market the
Mhm.
hell out of like just everything that I got, right? From the inside looking out, sometimes I don't see it and I don't see those things as tips because to me it's just my natural. You see
Mhm.
what I'm saying? But from the outside looking in, what can you grab from the marketing that I do that's like, okay, yo, like you've been doing this shit works. Like, is it the videos on YouTube? Is it spending time on the computer? Is it the podcast? Like, what do you think actually works best from the outside looking in? How I move?
I mean, you're phenomenal at what you do, bro. Like,
Thank you, brother.
I would say, I would say take some of this, knowledge and apply it, to like what you can do. Like I see it work all the time. We dropped what is this? We dropped a reel of the rehearsal.
Yep.
Yup, the first marketing.
Yep.
Um, and it's over 2,000 plays right now,
Absolutely.
2,000 views right now.
Yeah.
And like I could definitely tell that my numbers been popping up.
Yeah, bro.
Also, my
Yeah.
numbers been like kind of climbing as far as social media is
Mhm.
concerned. A lot more activity.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like yeah, this stuff works.
Yeah. So grab the content. Do not be afraid to record yourself. Do not be afraid
Yeah,
to
this
just
stuff works.
post it. And like for example, for me, like I think, bro, the way I look at just life in general, like whether it's for my job, my music, my life, my career, it's just I don't get attached too much on the outcome. I actually just get attached to the process more.
Mm,
And what I mean by that is like, right, you're seeing the results, right? But actually, I didn't even know that the video had hit that much because what I do is I call this thing is just I just show up and I know that I'm supposed to drop videos. I know that I'm supposed to drop podcasts. I know that whether the things get a whole bunch of exposure or not, as long as you show up and
mhm.
you do what you're supposed to do, it's gonna pay off and people from the outside looking in are going to like they're gonna see it. So
Exactly.
so just get attached to the process and do the work.
Yeah.
Do the work.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Just doing the work. I mean, I've pretty much also been kind of saying the same thing
Mm-hmm.
because most everybody come to YouTube and they come like looking for this information
Yep.
and they find the information, but a lot of people don't do the information, or they don't use the information. They don't apply the
Yeah.
knowledge, and it's just a matter of you doing it. I think I've been able to do what I do because I love to do it and I have a
Yeah.
passion and I
Yeah.
like been doing it for a long time.
Absolutely.
So like I've made money, money have came and money have gone, that's it happens like that. But I would say if you really want to seriously like see your manifestation and try to you want to live off of music, you just have to
Show
go
up. Do the
show
work.
up and do the work.
Hmm.
And
One thing about that I've learned from John is like, nah, for real, show up. I'm talking about show up. They hit you up for a gig, show up. They hit you up for rehearsal, show up on time.
Yeah.
You feel me? One thing I learned about John: do not show up to no freaking concert right before you about to perform. Because I know how, like our first show that we performed, I think that we had to set up like that we had just me and you. I know,
Oh, okay. We ain't had a band.
right, you're right. We had the band that we showed up and we were supposed to perform right away, and John's like, "How? We I gotta set up, bro. It takes time to set up. So show up on time. Be reliable. Be 100% reliable.
Yeah.
But just literally show the fuck up, bro.
Yeah.
Show up for yourself. Most important.
Yeah.
Now, it says social media campaign on month 2 as well. So social media campaign, right? It's important. I mean, bro, it's social media. The way that I like to think about social media is um it's called art of seduction. You know, it is social media is not there for you to, I don't know. The way I look at social media is like I'm there to seduce my crowd and not in a sexual way. Seduction is not that. Seduction is an attraction to something that you're doing, right? Or a way that you're speaking or a way, but you have to lure people into what you got going on. So be seductive in the ways that you promote, you know? I think if you haven't read the 48 Laws of Power of the Art of Seduction, I highly recommend that you do though, because it's gonna teach you about how people like to be sold. Remember, nobody really likes to be sold, but if you are gonna sell to them, make sure you seduce them first. Sounds foolish, but hey,
Gotta have the charm, man.
got it. Man.
Gotta have a charm along with it,
You feel me? So I definitely recommend to just get good at closing, y'all. Get good at closing. So 1 month before the release, you're gonna go ahead and drop that second single, okay? And here it says go ahead and drop behind the scenes content. That's good. You do wanna drop behind the scenes content because that's the story, right? John, you're big on capturing behind the scene moments. What do you think are some of the moments that artists should be capturing the most? Like a lot of artists don't really know.
I think I'm big on capturing the moment, period.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I'll use for example what I did. And yeah, shout out to Big John Young way in South Korea. When I was about 4 years ago, she came to Houston and um within the 3 weeks that she was there, I ended up putting a show together for her. Right? In the 3 weeks that she was there, we only
In
had
South Korea?
nah in Houston.
Oh, I'm about to say, bro, you be moving, bro.
Nah, in Houston. I mean, we did some shows and we
Out there,
did some
yeah.
stuff out there.
Yeah.
So for real.
Yeah, I know that.
But the thing about it was that was in a short period,
Yeah.
span period or
Yeah.
whatever. It was a short time
Yeah.
that we had to put it together. But anyways, yeah, we was in Houston and I set up a whole like live recording, and I would say this, like we wouldn't have an EP out right now with music on it. One of the songs that's doing real well is called Dreams of You, and like it has a video to it. And I would say we wouldn't even have it like if it wasn't for Ryan recording it that night, like getting it on wax. Like, so I would say record everything. Record everything, even record your rehearsals. Like we doing, like record. Like if you are able to like sit up and like run your music and run your workstation, I would advise you to record it because that's a moment in time that you're not going to get back.
100%.
It's a
And
moment in time you're not going to get back. Like I don't care what you do. Even if you try to create that same thing, like if you try to create that exact same thing, like I could play every lick that I played from the first one on to the second one. I guarantee it's not gonna be the same.
wow. Document everything.
It's not. Document everything.
Document everything. I want to document everything. Um, so
sometimes you can. That's kind of hard to do, you know.
And here's my tip with that: get you a team, bro. Don't you think you gotta do this shit by yourself?
It's a lot of work.
Don't you think you gotta do this shit by yourself? Shout out Kenny, bro. Shout out Kenny.
Shout out to Ken,
Shout out Kenny, bro, for real.
visual creative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the media director for our team, and bro, it's incredible to have a team. So drop behind the scene footage, right? Release that second single and drop behind the scene footage.
Yep.
Okay, so I'd say right before you get in that dropping mode,
Yep.
once you get in that dropping mode, you go ahead and release that behind the scene footage.
And
Okay.
I think this part of the month, like that 1 month release, I think this is the most kind of pivotal part
Mhm.
of you grabbing that audience.
Yeah.
It's like that first 3 minutes of playing a video, you know, or it's first
Yeah. Yeah.
1 minute of
Oh,
listening
okay,
to
okay, okay.
to
Retention span.
yeah, the retention span. With this rollout, that's why you say 1 month.
Yeah,
Uh,
100%. I agree with that.
yeah,
Get
I
the
think this is
people
the
hooked.
most. Yeah, this is like the fishing line.
Mm,
This is
you
like the
got
hook.
that good bait.
Yeah, this is like the hook catching on to the fish and you like reeling it in. This is the most important part, I think.
Wow.
Like getting your behind the scene footage, showing your story, or capturing how like this is a story.
Oh yeah, bro. No, that's huge, y'all. Yeah, that's good, bro. Peep game, like that's huge. 1 month prior to you dropping this, you gotta catch the audience. It's important. It's
It's
super
important.
important. Um, cool. So, how do you feel about this? Is actually a pretty good one because in our album Love in Spanish, bro, we don't necessarily have a lot of collabs. You know,
Mhm.
we were very selective with the people that we were putting on Love in Spanish too. And on top of it, you know, there was even records where we had somebody on it, and we were thinking, should we put this person on it? Not for any other reason, only for the reason that albums are personal, and sometimes um it might actually hurt the record to put somebody else on it because that person is not gonna be marketing as much as you are.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that that was the case in ours, but that could be the case in people's, right? You might put somebody on your album and they might not market it. How do you feel about collaborations when it comes to albums, bro? That's actually it's a good one. When it comes to
I'm a,
albums.
uh, so for this particular album, I'm always gonna use Live in Spanish because we're actually doing this right now, man. So like, all right. So for this particular album, right, um, we didn't need a whole lot of other artists on it,
Yeah.
you know.
Like it didn't feel like it needed anything
Yeah,
else.
yeah, unless we had like, well, we have YT and Maya. I
Right,
think
right.
she
Shout out
shout out to her.
YT. Shout out the whole camp.
Yeah, shout out to the camp. Um, yeah, like so we used her because she actually has a following. And I'm not saying a lot of other artists that was on it didn't have a following, but yeah, because some of them actually have a bigger, probably bigger following than her.
Right, right, right.
But I'm just saying it wasn't needed for this album. And I would say maybe your second album, your first album is like kind of like your rookie album. It's like, okay, this is me, you know, putting this out and putting myself out. And but your second album is more so you,
Yeah.
like from this point to this point.
Right, right.
And what most people like to see is your progress. So that's why back in number two, we talk about like behind the scenes because
Mhm.
most people want to see that growth.
Absolutely.
Most
They do.
audiences,
Yeah.
your audience want tapping into your audience. They actually want to see you grow, you know, from where you was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And they'll go back and they'll go back. Once you
Mhm.
drop something, they'll go back to the
So this is why the second album is important. Um, far as like collabing with other artists. I think YT is she killed that coffee, bro.
boy. What?
She killed that coffee record. But yeah, I think yeah, that's my tip on like I feel like
Collabs.
yeah, on collabs. Now your third album, after people find out who you are and you got an audience and your third album, that's like collab city, like,
Mm,
like, cause
I
artists
like that though,
oh
bro.
snap, you know, your man, we love in Spanish Volume 2. Like, let's hit this joint.
Right, right, right,
You
right,
know,
right.
like let's collab. Like, you
Yes,
know.
yes,
So
yes,
your
yes.
third album is your collab.
That's dope, bro. That's dope how you did that. First album is like putting the people. You might get a collab or two, but like in Love in Spanish one, we didn't even in Love in Spanish one, bro. We didn't even freaking get collabs on it. Only the only collab was Girl Lab, but that record had already been done a little bit prior to actually initiating Love in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Um, now
My boy Alex working over here.
my bad, y'all. If y'all see me like a little distracted, like I'm at work too right now. Mm, just boom, boom, boom. No audio. Boom. Yeah. So 1 second. Get in there, brother. Talk to him.
Yeah, I was gonna also say, yeah, I was gonna also say like the collabing with some of the artists that's on the album with you. It's not that they were it's not that they're bad artists. Like really shout out to everybody that was like that contributed to Love in Spanish and contribute to the sound. But they were not bad at all, you know. It's just less other voices on there to keep more of the audience on the main
Right,
vocal
right, right.
artist.
100%. One thing for sure, do not use collabs to try to like work on your sound.
Yeah.
That's my thing, right? Work on your sound. Do not try to use somebody else's sound to boost your album. I mean, you could, that's a strategy, but people can smell the bullshit. I'm gonna tell you right now. And people can smell when it's not authentic.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know I can. If I see somebody hopping on something that they're just, it doesn't even make sense, or they put it in the album, it's like,
Yeah.
what was that for? You know? So that's how I feel about collaborations. To be honest, I take a lot of pride in like what we do. So all of our production is in-house, right? John is music director, right? He produces 99% of the record. I always touch on the production of the things that I hop on just because I'm a producer as well, and I like to have a little input on it. But get behind your sound, develop your sound in a extreme way where like you create something where people have to hop on your vibe, right? One thing that I take high pride on, bro, is the fact that I never felt like I just try to follow like a cloud type of sound, you know.
Right.
I've always been ALEXSOY, and when people hear my music, like they can hear that that's like an ALEXSOY type of beat or an ALEXSOY type of lyric, an ALEXSOY type of song. I never just try to, oh, you know, drill is popping, let me hop on drill. This is popping, no, no, no. I always deliver my sound. Therefore, when it came to projects and this and that, I took pride in what we did, and therefore I didn't want to just put people on it because I'm like, you probably won't even sound like how we trying to make it sound on here.
Right.
Because this is our sound, you know?
Mhm.
So be very selective, but use OPP, other people's platforms. Like it's a strategy and it's a balance, you know. So definitely collaborations 2 weeks prior. You can release that. You can tell people who you got on your album.
Yeah.
1 week prior, this is actually pretty good right here, bro. 1 week prior to the release date, um, virtual events.
Yeah.
Virtual events.
Yeah. You could do release dates.
Yeah.
Uh,
Virtual events. I think we're personally gonna do a virtual concert, a couple virtual concerts.
mhm.
So if you don't know how to create like a virtual concert, DM me, comment. I'll show you like what I'm talking about here. But yeah, you can host a virtual listening party with your fans, right? Literally through Instagram Live, through Facebook Live. And if you don't know how like a stream to Instagram Live to where you get crispy ass sound, let me know. I'll show you. But yeah, yo, like hosting a virtual party right before your album release, that's key, bro. Um, of course, like what do you think is a good surprise element when it comes to an album? What's a surprise that you can get the fans, bro? Like when it comes to an album,
I would say listening parties.
listening parties, like
Mhm.
personal listening parties or virtual.
Um, Personal listening parties.
Like you show up to that city and you boom.
Yeah, personal listening parties. that'll give something, and within that party, you know, you giving away like your merch,
Okay.
and you're giving away, you're selling
Mm,
you're
yeah.
selling your
Yeah.
products.
So have a release party, bro, and surprise people with merch.
Uh,
Have
yeah.
a release party and
Like
surprise.
Love in Spanish, me and Alex been talking about doing a release party, and we're
Hmm.
actually talking about do the release party up on the 30th floor.
Yeah.
You know,
So
like with the
yeah.
pool over the city,
Hmm.
and
That's gonna be good, bro.
yeah, just giving the yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be
It's gonna
fire.
be amazing. Gonna be amazing up there.
Yeah, we'll set a DJ up there.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Set a DJ up there with some speakers and then play Love in
Play Love
Spanish.
in Spanish. If you want to tap into
Release a
to
party.
the relief
Yeah,
party, man, I'll fly out one of my subscribers from YouTube. I'm willing to fly one subscriber
yeah,
from
and
YouTube.
it's gonna be catered too. So like we're gonna have
Ooh.
people working,
Mm-hmm.
you know, passing
Gonna have a
passing.
bartender,
Yeah.
server. We're gonna have all that. So
Mm-hmm.
a release party, do it big, bro. I was just telling I had a conversation with my sister. You know what I told my sister? Dream fucking
Yeah,
big,
do it big.
and don't ever downplay yourself.
Yeah.
um Surprise release elements, drop a visual and engage with the fans. That's exactly what you were talking about. Engage with the fans, engage with them, host live sessions across all platforms. So post release, okay, let's talk about post release. After you already release your album, what would you do after you release your album?
Um, I would market it and push it.
Mm-hmm.
For my first album, I've been learning how I like to market and push myself as an artist.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would market and push it, and like, you know, I would make sure I'm staying up on that now. That's easier said than done.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh
You
'cause
are really good at face-to-face marketing. Can
mhm.
you give some advice, bro, to the people that, for example, like I honestly I thought I was great at face-to-face marketing. I mean, I sell for a living, right?
Mhm.
But I see that you do it naturally to the point where it doesn't even feel like you're marketing yourself. You're just connecting with people.
Exactly.
So
Networking.
networking, right? So give it a little bit of advice to a lot of people, especially in today's era where we're doing a lot of internet marketing, right? And people could actually get disconnected from that face-to-face interaction.
Yeah.
What do you do to initiate a conversation about marketing when you're out
Oh
there?
man, I just be myself.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like a people's person.
Yeah.
Uh, I go up to people, and especially if I feel that you are like talented, and I could say I can also probably attract those people also
Mm-hmm.
because
You feel
it's
like it's
more
easier
so
for you, like
yeah, it's more so I'm in a mindset that I do what I do. Like I'm a musician, I'm a producer, and I have to like act like that. You
yeah.
know, like I have to be that. I have
Mm-hmm.
to be within there. So I would say a tip for everybody that actually want to go outside and market. And I'm the kind of back out the trunk, kind of like I sell my tapes out the trunk, you know, like I'm learning like being around you and being around ALEXSOY music, and actually we talk about our story all the
Yeah.
time, basically, right? But just this is what it this is what we I've been doing, you know, this is what I've been doing for so long. I've even done this with other artists.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah.
done this with other artists, other young
Multiple.
artists. Yeah, multiple artists that wouldn't even like that didn't have no name popping, and it was I was on some artist development things, like
Yes.
producing and
Mhm.
like, you know, I wasn't trying to look for the next biggest
You're trying to build that.
sign. I wanted to build something, you know. And when I found that with Alex, I realized 8 years, 10 years in the game, like, damn, I've been like building this artist. We've been building each other,
Yeah.
and he has like took off. Now he's now he's showing me like network 5D marketing.
Yeah,
You
bro.
know?
Right.
So like yeah, so with me just going a tip is just be you.
Mhm.
Just if you say you're a producer and you're an artist and you're a musician, be that.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Uh
And that is such a good tip. Do not let that one go over the head, Rob. Y'all, do not let that one be that. Like,
you gotta be
don't
that.
say that you're going to not
Yeah.
be that at the
Gotta be
moment,
that
right
right
then, right
now.
now.
Right. Like you
Bro,
have to be
that's so fucking
and
good.
when you do that, like going up to somebody and networking with them wouldn't be no issue, you know. It wouldn't be no issue. It's like you're being yourself. Um, for those that don't know how to, you know, that haven't like really tapped into themselves and they're kind of like, cause every artist ain't like, okay, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna just,
Yeah,
you
they're
know,
still developing.
yeah, that's still developing and that comes along with it. And that tip is you have to really dig into yourself and be what you want to be, you know. Uh,
Yeah,
the army says, "Be all that you can be." Shout out to the army since we on social media. But anyways, shout out to U.S. Army,
yeah.
all the veterans
Thank
and
you
all
guys
the
for your
people
service.
that work for us,
Hmm.
that service, yeah. Yeah, man. Like
Be you,
you got to be that.
be
You got to
that,
be the
be
artist.
that, and
Yeah.
be you.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, do not let down go over your head, y'all. Like, be, be who you say you are.
Mm-hmm.
You are who you say you are,
Mm-hmm.
and who you say you aren't. Trust me, and be
Yeah.
careful how you talk to yourself, man. That's a good one, bro.
Yeah.
Be that.
Yeah.
I would personally say, post
Yeah.
post drop marketing as well. I personally feel like, look, y'all, like for real, get somebody that I had a meeting yesterday and they say it's different, but it applies to it. It says the quote said from yesterday, it said, appreciate what your parents did for you, and a mentor try to fill in the gaps that they just couldn't. Don't reject them for that. Don't appreciate what you can from what they give you, and then find a mentor that fill that. And in the sense, what I mean, like with this is, you are going to be good and great at a few things, and a lot, maybe even a lot of things. But of course, there is going to be gaps that you need to fill in, and you need to find somebody that fills those gaps.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I always tell John, like, bro, we're a great team, bro, because like I was saying earlier, John has a great way of marketing face to face. And I thought that I was a great, and I am, but I'm like, okay, that's a way different way to approach it, right? I'm like more like salesy. You're so natural with it. I'm salesy. I sell. You're natural and
Yeah, I'm
organic,
trying to
bro.
learn that right now. I'm trying to be able to be in that. Like I sell, but I'm more so. You know, I'm John Fonto, like so. It's like I'm gonna be me. You know,
Yeah,
It's if I have to go out and do like let people know that I play the drums and I'm a musician. That's what I have to like live by.
yeah,
Like I have to do that.
yeah,
And but I'm want to learn. I've been wanting to learn like the salesy side of
yeah,
it, like where it's just. But more and more I get into it, it's more so just me being open and me being like, more expressive
right.
about a product
Mm-hmm.
or having a story. You
Absolutely.
know, yeah, so just with you, man, I'm trying to learn how. I'm trying to learn what how you doing,
And you
and
see
I
what
see him next. I'm right next to
and you see what I'm talking about? Like, okay, I'm saying, yo, John, like I want to learn how to
him.
like do that. And he's saying, bro, I want to learn how to do that. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You gotta find the people that fill in that gap in your music career, bro.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's the
Well,
key.
you can
And
learn from each other. You find you artists that you can learn from. And I would say go as a team, like,
mm-hmm.
but have a really good strategy. And this GPT is off the chain. Like I'm very this is my first time ever actually getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
I've always heard it from in the past, but this is my first time getting into it. I done written out certain, contracts now
Yeah.
using
Yeah.
Chat GPT, and it's been amazing,
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely would recommend artists right now to look into AI. If you're not tapping into AI, I'm trying to tell you right now, there is people that are tapping in. So what does that mean? You're getting left behind in a way.
Yep.
Because if people are getting smarter at something that we're gonna be using on the daily, and we don't get smarter at that, they have an up on us.
Yeah,
They have something that we don't have, a skill that we don't have, and I'm not gonna have that.
yeah.
Get good at AI. Use it for anything and everything that you can. I use it on the daily, bro.
Mhm.
I use it on the daily to come up with my plans, to come up and use it just as a tool. It's not your boss. It's not gonna tell you exactly what to do. Use it to organize your thoughts. It's actually what I use it for, bro. Like I've been sitting here talking to ChatGPT just to organize my thoughts and then put it on a bullet point. I'm talking to ChatGPT for like 30 minutes and then I'm like, okay, perfect, I'm done. Just put that into a bullet point. And that's exactly what happened here. Right? So I talking to ChatGPT and at the end I end up with this and I end up with a plan. And then boom, you don't have to think about like, bro, ChatGPT has the information. It has you can tell it like on this one I said you need to use the 48 laws of power and you need to use the art of seduction to come up with a strategy. And it did just that. It's incredible, y'all. So that was it. That was almost an hour worth of gems right there.
Yeah.
I want to let you guys know one more time that you guys need to go ahead and go to ALEXSOYmusic.com.
ALEXSOYmusic.com.
Let them know, brother.
Tap in. Tap in with Alex Soy, man.
Look, bro,
Telling you.
this is free game that I'm giving you here. This is access for free to vocal recording, school communities, artist development, how to make money as a music artist, right? If you're just a beginner and you don't even know how to build a studio, go to equipments, build studio, and I give you all the good stuff. I'm giving it all to you, all the gems, so that you can elevate your career. Remember, I'm here to serve. I'm here to serve and elevate. And I want to make sure that I give out all the gems to my community. Go ahead and go to alexsoymusic.com
Hey,
and
man.
tap in.
Tap in. Support your local artists, man. Because local artists, the local artists become national. The local artists become through consistency. The local artists become international. And yeah, you go support your independent entrepreneurs. Go support each other.
Support each other.
Yeah, like
Support each other.
that's a rollout strategy.
That's a rollout strategy for y'all. Y'all listen. If you need any help, if you want to make your own website, if you want to make a rollout strategy, if you need production, if you need recording, if you need mentorship when it comes to this music, anything that has to do with music and how to monetize and elevate your career, I need you to go to alexsoymusic.com right now and click this link that says free. I'm gonna give you the first thing that's going to help you out elevate your career. That is a vocal template. If you don't know what a vocal template is, it's a way that you can streamline your workflow on Logic Pro. Okay? I'm gonna give it to you for absolutely free. All I need you to do is go to alexsoymusic.com, click the free tab. You need your email, a name, and a phone number. I'm willing to give you all the information as long as you're willing to give me a little bit of information about you. And to be honest, look, I'm gonna give you the game. The reason why I need this information is so that in the future I can contact you. You know me, you know where to find me. I'm Alex Soy Music. You go to Alex Soy Music on YouTube and you can find all my stuff. But I don't know who you are. I need to know. Tap in. Alex Soy aquí presente. Much love. Like, subscribe, comment.
John Fondo. Like, subscribe, comment. My music. Like, subscribe, comment. Fontno.John. Instagram. John Fontno. Facebook, YouTube. Hit your boy up.
Hey, just Google the man. I'm telling you. John Funnel on drums.
Yep.
Google the man. I'm telling you. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. If you made it all the way to the end, truly appreciate you and damn near love you. I love you, bro. If you made it all the way to the end, congratulations to you. You
Love
really
in Spanish. What's going on, man? Love in Spanish. I'm so happy about that.
Me too, brother. Hey, it's a pleasure working with you always, brother. Yes, sir.
Get it.
Love in Spanish too. On the way. Peace.